Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 7th episode of Jashin-chan Dropkick. So, in the last episode, Jashin-chan thought she'd try her hand at business. However, she was up against a direct competitor that had no overhead, so that was never gonna work out. Also, Pecora got to meet another angel that wanted to kill her, so yeah, as usual, it's not a very good situation for anyone involved, really. So, yeah, let's see how things go today. 3, 2, 1, play. I see a Jashin-chan Dropkick up there. Where? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Everything's destroyed. That's basically that scene in a nutshell. You know, I really wish Satania's voice actress could have had a role in this. It would have been great. I don't care who she voices, but she should be here. I mean, who would be a good character for her to voice? Let's see. Good question. I mean, I think she could do a decent job voicing Jashin-chan. I mean, I would say Pecora, but I mean, Pecora doesn't quite have the personality for that. And that's when she shows her affection. Yes, I know, you love it. You can't get enough of it. I think we met pretty much all those characters. Well, yeah, if you have perishable products, you kind of have to go home with them. That's the angel. What was her name? She knows how to greet someone, though. Good thing Jashin-chan can't die. I don't see how that's a light sword. In any respect. Oh. Okay, I guess it does sound kind of similar. Poboron, that's what her name was. Yeah, but I do that all the time. I can't remember everyone. I do that too. Yes. Yes, that was the event. Oh. Apparently she wants a repeat scenario. It is your problem because you just ruined it. Well, it's also her problem because she's going to die. Well, attempted death. Ugh. It's like you're picking a fight or something. I do like the look of the light sword, though. Maybe Satania can voice this character, because she does remind me a lot of Satania. Just, you know, an angel instead of a devil. Even had the, the background music playing. That Satania always had. Wow. That's impressive because everything has spikes on it. But again, not really a sword. Yeah. We already knew that. I'm gonna give this a Peccola. Ah. I surprised those are that fragile. That's one way to become Super Saiyan, I guess. That's wow. And even like the Dragon Ball Z face. Wow. You have my permission to hit her again if you want. Yes, how's it feel to be Peccola 2.0? I bet it sucks. Well, maybe you could go into that one anime. What's it called? Beat the Death Angel? Nothing to say now. Wow. Kame. Oh. Yeah, it's a joke now that you have no power. This girl. Yes. That's why Satania could voice either one of them and it'd be fine. Yeah, clearly. We should totally go there then. A good question. Where is she? She has friends besides Jashin? John? Wow. Oh, she's cute though. This imaginary girl. uh, you were horrible as always, Jashin-chan. What's her job? You know, you really can't blame someone for cheating on you, Jashin-chan. Oh my god. Yeah, you're not gonna break up with her because she's your ATM anyway. Could have fooled me. Yeah, that's called jealousy, my friend. Yeah, you're actually pretty cute back there. You know that face. Wow, Jashin-chan. You really should just break up with Jashin-chan already. uh, here we go. Well, there we went. It's something. Oh my god. You are the worst, Jashin-chan. Yeah, in spite of everything she does. You live rent-free with Yurina, don't you? I think you'll survive. You are the scum of the earth. Yeah, I can't mind me looking bad. Yeah, that was pretty messed up. You did? A lot? I'd be more than happy to see you beat yourself up. I'm so glad you said that, because that's the truth. Wow, that is savage. You are scum even by devil standards. The feeling of having your halo eaten by a devil in front of you. But yeah, that's Jashin-chan. I got mixed up. I thought it was the angel. My bad. It's dark. What do you want me to say? Yes. Whether or not it's real or not is another question. That is just... Urina checking out that ass as she walks away. Well, slithers away. Well... Is this a curry place that was mentioned? Oh. I can't read that. Just a tiny bit. Guess that's something. Uh, of course. uh, don't remind me. Uh, uh, I, I guess. It's just so depressing seeing the relationship. It's too depressing to really be all that funny. What, next level scum? What is it? An all expense paid vacation somewhere? To hell, perhaps? Like what? Wow. That sounds pretty luxurious. Well, you killed the Medusa's spirits. Oh yeah, that too. You did that. They're probably not that easy to come across. Satan something? Satan tears, I think. Put in. I think it's at Satan tears, I'm not sure. Sure, just try it, see what it does. I doubt it. But that's a great face. Well, the guest services were no longer needed. Yeah, it's a little bit sad. But I'm not emotionally attached enough to care that much. Yeah, it's all good. It makes sense, I suppose. Now let's see what it does. Man, Zirina was prepared. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, no thank you. It probably is. Yeah. Oh god. I bet it is. Meanwhile, something that's not disgusting, pudding. Nepo really loves her pudding, I mean, Yurina. Yeah, get your own desserts. I knew you would say something like that, Jashin-chan, because you are the worst, as we've established. Shibuya 666. You know, someone left a comment in one of my earlier videos about how an episode where Jashin-chan didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's definitely not the case with this episode. Those aren't really mutually exclusive. You need to watch more anime if you don't get that. I'm sure. What? Oh. Oh, she does? Is that what the potion did? Oh, that is definitely an improvement. uh, not because of the legs, but because of what's between the legs and the upper part. You're more powerful, alright. Yeah, think of the Sakuga. It's so weird. just show them off. It's thoroughly blown. Mr. Satan. You know, seeing that reminds me of, you know, the tragedy of Mr. Satan's Japanese voice actor dying, which I did hear about. It is weird seeing her without her back, as well. Oh. Gotta hold hands after all. It's not a proper date otherwise. Even though I wish they would break up, but, you know, that's not gonna happen apparently, so. You have enough fashion sense. I like how it's blue, though. Well, I'm sure nobody likes wearing a bag on their head. I'm very happy about it. It opens up all new possibilities. Actually, they're devils. Yeah, don't assume my species. Something Creative Cafe. But yeah, we're just going full on Jashin-chan Medusa dates at this point. Oh, there you are. Character that I don't remember too well. Yeah, closer than you might think. Oh god. Yeah, just catch a very distorted Jashin-chan, and they're going all the places. Cool. Oof. Yeah, I know why you guys showed up. Oh, wait, what? Oh. Uh, that's not good. Possibly he just goes inwards and affects herself. But it's going to reverse. Yeah. Uh, she was having so much fun too. Hopefully you at least brought the bag with you. Oh wow. Jashin-chan acting oddly nice. He was a little bit weird. Yeah, the Hell Shopping Network is never trustworthy. Another thing Gabriel Dropout taught me. That is an ugly thing. My first dropkick with my new legs. That poor Statue of Liberty. Is it? That's all you care about. No, no, she's not. Yeah, that's money that could be spent on me. Exactly, I knew that's the reason. That's why she's so upset about wasted money. Oh, you get a brand new bag. Hopefully we can reverse that. I'm sure the petrified legs make you slightly heavier, but... I think it would be crying more so than anything else. Or snow. It could be snow. Yeah, it's like August. uh... Yes, and boy is my back tired. Some high praise are getting there. It's not gonna work, Jashin-chan. Still no penny shot from the dropkick, though. Oh my god. Oh. Well, that was short-lived. Which I figured it would be. Well... yeah. And that was your first mistake, Irina. Oh god. Sounds good. Well... you shouldn't be in a lesbian relationship with Medusa if you don't want to be eaten, so... But I do think we've met all the characters at this point. You can't throw away your tiny hat. Yeah, and now it explains why she has a part-time job because she lost her halo, lost her power, she's in the same position as Piccolo. So she has to get a job to support herself. On the bright side, she no longer has a reason to kill Piccolo, so... Oh, and no longer has the power to, really, anyway. So that was the 7th episode of Jashin-chan Dropkick. And this episode, we started off with a scene where Poporon showed up and had a bit of an interaction with Jashin-chan, which just pissed her off a lot, knocking over her food, not being even slightly remorseful about knocking over food. And this scene kind of made it obvious just how similar these two characters are. And yeah, what was funny about the scene though is that Jashin-chan decided to get back at her by eating her halo. Which doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but until you realize that ruins an angel's life, so... Yeah, I'd say Jashin-chan got back at her for that. And when she did, she tried to act like she was gonna get super powerful. Just going on and on about all that, and looking like she was going Super Saiyan, which even if she did, her color wouldn't change because it's already blonde. But what was funny is that her face went full-on Dragon Ball Z, like a Goku face. That was pretty funny. And it's like, nah, I'm just kidding with you. It was a tasty snack. But if that does contain all of an angel's powers, you would imagine it would do something a bit more than just make her light up for a bit. Like, there should be a lot of power in that, so you think it would do something like either really positive or really negative, but really something with a serious impact. But this is a comedy anime after all, so they can do whatever they want. But the main point is that Poporon is now powerless, and I'm sure she's very salty about that. Although we didn't yet see exactly what her new life is now that she doesn't have a halo. We didn't really get to see much of that yet, I don't think, so I'm sure we'll get to that eventually, see that she is now basically Piccolo 2.0. Oh, and one more interesting thing about this scene, the scene, Poporon, she had a weapon that she called, like, the Light Sword or whatever, which is not a fitting name in the slightest. But what I did find funny is that that weapon reminded me of the weapon that a character used in another anime. I called it Beat the Death Angel, but I looked it up and I guess, well, the Japanese title is Bokusatsu Tenchi Dokuro-chan. And yeah, the weapon looks almost exactly the same, so that was probably a reference to that. Because it looks very, very similar, so it's probably, I'm almost positive it's a reference to that, but that is an anime I watched a long time ago. So, I mean, it came out in what, 2005? Yeah. So that was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that because she is an angel, so, you know, and so was Dokuro-chan, so that, yeah, I enjoyed that reference. Now, the next scene, man, Jashin-chan was just, the absolute worst, okay. So she hears about Yurinet spending time with another girl, and she just gets really jealous and upset. And then when she finally does see Medusa, she just wait, did I actually call Yurinet Medusa we're talking about here? Anyway, when she finally did see Medusa, she just completely laid into her, just saying all sorts of horrible things to her, just till she starts breaking down crying. It was just the worst, and that was bad enough. But then we started to get into how she was keeping quiet because Jashin-chan told her to before. And it just, oh my god, you are just the absolute worst, Jashin-chan. You know that you do these seemingly kind things once in a while, but it really doesn't make up for the fact that you are just scum of the earth. You are scum among scum. You give devils a bad name. You are horrible. So one thing that was interesting with this episode is that Jashin-chan, because she had eaten Poporon's halo, that was considered a good deed among devils, I guess. So she was rewarded with some various things, and also she was given a bottle of Satan's tears, and she drank it and it gave her legs, basically, temporarily, of course, but she didn't know that. I figured this would be a temporary thing because, you know, Jashin-chan being, you know, a Lamia, it's kind of a big selling point for the show, so they wouldn't, you know, completely take that away. They wouldn't do that, so I knew it would be temporary. But I figured it would at least last the rest of the episode, and like next episode we'd be back and she just have her tail back. But I know they did it a little bit earlier than that. And after that, we actually had a very lengthy scene that was basically a date between Jashin-chan and Medusa. Which it was, you know, it was a nice enough date. The date worked better because Medusa had gotten these contact lenses that prevent her petrification, so she didn't have to wear her usual bag, which she was actually really happy about. Like I didn't know the bag bothered her that much, but yeah, when she had the bag off and was able to go on a date with the girl that she loved, she just seemed to be having the time of her life, and then Jashin-chan has her legs, so those two things combined, it's actually seemed like a very normal date between these two girls, so to the point where some random dudes call them angels, which triggers them a little bit because they're devils, and yeah, just Jashin-chan was never going to be a big fan of that. But yeah, we don't need guys interrupting our Yuri date here. So they went a lot of places. I mean, just I can't really go into all of them, but the Ferris wheel was probably one of the best because we got to see the other girl that's still looking for Jashin-chan and mostly failing. That was also on the Ferris wheel and didn't know they were there. Now things kind of got ruined when it was revealed that the contact lenses are not as good as we thought they were. All they really do is reflect the petrification back inside of her, so that just makes her legs stone instead. And I don't think they actually talked about it if there was a way to fix that or not. I assume there is, but it just that'd be pretty unfortunate if her legs were just partially petrified for the rest of the show. That would be very sad. So I don't think they would do that in a comedy anime. I mean, to be fair, this is the same anime where angels lose their halos and forever lose their powers, so, you know, who knows, really. But, yeah, this is where Jashin-chan actually started to act like a half-decent, you know, person, you know, drop-kicking the person that sold her the crappy lenses, carrying her home, but obviously it's all for the sake of her ATM, so I can't really praise her too much for any of that, but, you know, like Jashin-chan being upset by the wasted money because it's money that could have been spent on her. That's the reason why it bothered her, not the fact that Medusa got screwed over. Because this is just the kind of character Jashin-chan is, so I'm not really surprised by any of this. It's just, she is just so horrible. I mean, especially when she does that thing where it's like, you love me, right? Well, if you love me, you'll give me money, right? Just, that stuff really bothers me. Just Jashin-chan deserves almost all the abuse she gets in this show, really. The scene where it's starting to snow, that was kind of nice, I suppose, but yeah, that was pretty much the episode. The only thing left was the scene with Yurina when Jashin-chan's legs went back to normal, and Yurina punished her for trying to kill her yet again, and that involved tying her to a tree outside in the snowy cold, and eventually going to chop her up and eat her once again. So, Jashin-chan really is a perfect food source, really. You just chop her up, eat her, it'll grow back later. You just chop her up, eat it again. So, assuming you don't get tired of eating the same thing every day, you could, at least solve hunger for that household. I can't say solve world hunger because the regeneration is probably not fast enough for that to really work. And you probably need more than one Jashin-chan for that to happen. But at least for that household, you should never go hungry because you can always just eat Jashin-chan, which, Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon, and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.